Still trying to throw the ball. On first and goal, second and goal. Panicking at third. Fourth, I'm wishing for a muff.
Welcome to the 510 Huddle. The first week of the playoffs is over. I lost the bet. How you doing today, Coach Lane?
Feeling great, man. Feeling great. Victory Tuesday. Victory Tuesday for me. We're like a 4-2, man. I call it how I see it.
I would say the bet I was wrong on, but was like low-key happy, was the Ravens win. You feel me? Lamar got that win. I was happy for him. I was mad I lost the bet. And he got the win without the arm. He said, "Hey, get on my back."
Yeah.
What was your favorite game of the weekend though?
Favorite game to watch might have been that Ravens Titans. Yeah, it was the Ravens Titans for me. That was my favorite one to watch. I like that one.
Yeah, mine. I'm not gonna lie, that was a good game too. But I felt, there's a lot of good games, but I like that Coach Titans game just because the Titans came out like they was gonna run them. The Colts came out like they was gonna run them. Josh Allen is really showing he's that top 5 elite quarterback. So to me, that's what I saw from that game.
Yeah.
He did have that one play like he did a playoffs last year where he lost like 30 yards he kept trying to break out the sack.
Yeah.
But
most guys like that do that from time to time. Vic had a few of those in his career. Pat, I've seen Pat do that a few times just this season alone.
Yeah. When you're athletic, you gamble, you know?
Yeah.
All right, we both missed on the Rams pick. On the Rams Seahawks pick. We thought it was gonna be a close game, but Seattle won. Yeah. I think we need to start focusing a little bit on Sean McVay as like.
Let's talk about these coaches before we get into some games. Remember?
Oh yeah, you're right. I was excited.
No, you good. Yeah, we was just talking about our bets. 4-2.
Yeah.
4-2. I got you.
Yeah.
We'll talk about them in a minute.
Let's get into the biggest news of the weekend, and that's Doug Pederson let go of the Philadelphia Eagles after 5 seasons. 3 seasons. 3 seasons removed of the Super Bowl. D-Lane, you being an Eagles fan, what's the future looking like going forward for the Eagles?
Man.
Well, first off, let's rewind. What was your initial reaction of Doug getting fired, and then what's the direction of the Eagles?
Well, I was sad, of course, man. I love Dougie P. Outside of Andy Reid, I will always say he's my coach just because he got us a ring, man. So it's really 1A, 1B for me. Probably throw Doug slightly ahead because he did get that ring for us. But yeah, him and Andy, those are our coaches forever, man. And I was just saddened. I was saddened because I felt like he won. He's won for us. He's won for us with backups. He proved over time he's more than a capable coach, and I just believe he should have got that chance to turn the team around, man. So I think he had that resume. He had that where you could be like, all right, I'll give him another year or two to turn things around. But yeah, man, the state of my organization, man, I think is really up in the air until we get a new coach. Mainly because right now I'm hearing Lincoln Riley, Robert Saul, he's another one from the Niners. Those are two of the top guys I've been hearing so far that we're trying to get for interviews to be the head coach. And I definitely like the Lincoln Riley pick. That definitely could be beneficial, especially to the quarterback room, mainly because of his relationship with Jalen Hurts. I definitely could see Jalen Hurts possibly hitting the ground running, taking off with Lincoln Riley. The only thing with Lincoln that I'm hearing is he would like a structure similar to Matt Rule. And I'm not mad at him as far as he wants say, not sometimes. He definitely wants say in his coaching staff makeup and the way you build this roster. And that's been an issue. That's one of the reasons why they let my guy Dougie P go, because they have philosophical differences. One thing I didn't understand about Doug, I seen Zay going into Doug's meetings this weekend with the owner, Jeffrey Lurie. I seen last week they were saying Doug's definitely the writing's on the wall for Doug to be fired if he goes into this meeting So one of Doug's things was he didn't really like to hire from outside. He liked to hire from within, Mm-hmm. So in 2016, I believe, 17, he was our quarterbacks coach, a guy named Press Taylor. Then he moved up to pass game coordinator this past year. We all watched the Eagles this year, passing game. The team in the passing game looked horrendous all year. And then Doug tries to go into this meeting this past weekend and try to go to bat for this guy to be the offensive coordinator, to elevate him again. That was out of all Doug's tenure being here. Like I said, I got the 2 Sundays ago move, switching out Jalen for stuff. All the stuff Doug done in 5 years, that was the only thing I kind of really scratched my head on because I just didn't see the progression there, Doug, from this guy. And I heard the locker room didn't really care for him too much because they said he built too much of a close relationship with Carson off the field to the point where it affected him on the field as far as he wasn't coaching Carson hard enough no more. That's the hearings coming out the locker room that the Press Taylor guy wasn't coaching Carson hard, so he wouldn't really get on him in film and stuff when he messed up and stuff like that. So that was my biggest question mark for Doug was why I didn't see what you seen in that guy. But yeah, man, we're up in the air. We gotta get we gotta get a coach, man. And it's tough. It's always tough. I feel like the best route for us to go would be Lincoln, just because he's Jalen would be his guy, right? And what's our thing with new coaches or quarterbacks? Is he your guy? You feel me? And I feel like everybody, I've been seeing reports saying, oh, with a new coach in play, Carson more than likely to stay and be our quarterback. That makes sense from a business money standpoint, but let's say Carson has another year of regression or a year that looks anything similar to this year, or where he just doesn't show any progression from last year, then that new coach can instantly say, hey, he's not my guy. I want to go get somebody else. And then that puts us in another limbo for another 2-3 years, because then you got to get the rookie in and you got to get him reps, get his feet wet. So we're in a rebuild mode, I think, for the next 3 to 5 years, man. Unless we get a coach that can hit the ground running with Jalen, or hit the ground running and finding a new quarterback.
Yeah, I think my initial reaction was I was really surprised. I thought they would kick the tires on Carson Wentz before they did Doug Pederson. Only being if Carson Wentz was the guy that won the Super Bowl, I think this would be a different conversation.
For sure.
But it's not. Doug.
It'd still be a tough time conversation.
It'll be tough
because they both got it for you.
Exactly. And I think it'll be definitely a different conversation. But to me, the Eagles, obviously, they made a decision. They went with their most invested asset in the franchise, which is Carson Wentz. And I think they need to go ahead and find another offensive coach to help groom him and restore, a culture in the locker room, which Lincoln Riley could do. But to me, they're in a very risky territory right now, because you can't have a quarterback you missed on $160 million contract. And the big money comes this year and next year.
Yeah.
So,
next couple of years, yeah. It just starts to kick
so
in.
the Eagles are in scary territory right now. The worst thing you want to be in a position where you can't make the team better and you have a quarterback that's no good. You can't trade him. You're going to have to literally eat a cap. So I think the Eagles, and when they made the decision, I would have been on the phone with probably every offensive guru I knew in the NFL space. Like, hey, is Carson unfixable? I have to know that. I have to know for a fact that Carson is fixable. And then
questions, I've seen a few packages out there for this guy. Would you do it if you're Houston? Let's say Carson. Let's say Carson, a second and a third. Would you do it?
No. And I just have to say this. I know I have a top 5 quarterback. If I'm Texans, you're going to have to it's going to be the most crazy trade in NFL history if you're going to do Sean Watson. I'm going to say that right now. This ain't the NBA. So that's I'm just throwing it out there. There's no trade right now. And to me, if I'm the Texans, just call me Carson. That's you give me a project, and the Texans, I have no first and second round picks. Okay. Oh yeah, I can't do that. Okay. Now, I don't see how the Eagles can even trade Carson by doing this decision, because if they're going to trade Carson, to me, you keep Doug, because you have a formula, and this was also concerning. Doug and the whole team switched under Jalen Hurts. So to me, it's like, I understand the pass game coordinator isn't the best, but everyone started looking better. Rieger was looking better. All your weapons are looking better under Jalen Hurts. So right there, I think I don't care what happened early in the year with Doug. It's on Carson. And I think Jeff or Larry is doing too much, and it's like, hey, I paid this guy all this crazy money. He's Jeff Alori, yeah. I paid this guy all this money. It's not Carson's fault. It's your fault, Doug. And I think that's how he took it. He didn't do the football. I think of – and then Howie, I think Howie's trying to, like, point fingers like, hey, yeah, it's Doug's fault, because let's be honest, Howie ain't drafted well. Right. The team is old, right? He needs to do rebuild this offseason. We got one of the oldest rosters. Oldest rosters. So Howie's trying to save his own job. So I know Howie's probably with Jeff, like, Carson was my pick. I traded 2 firsts for him. So I'm gonna blame Doug too. I think it makes sense for Howie to save his job. If I'm Howie, I'm blaming Doug too. I need my job.
Yeah.
Now, the flip side
Definitely
of this,
finger pointing.
yeah, the flip side to this, they are the Philadelphia Eagles, so they can get a top coach like a Lincoln Riley. Open a pocketbook. He's going to be the highest paid coach in NFL history. And to me, if Lincoln wants that control, you give him that control. Because every team in NFL would want to take Lincoln Riley outside of 5 to 6 coaches. So I think that's the positive. The Eagles, you have a legit shot to get Lincoln Riley. And he is the QB guru if there is a QB guru to be said. Now, I'll say that another, I wouldn't say positive, negative. Doug, like you said, D-Lane, before the show, he's going to have a job by the end of the week.
If he wants one.
If he wants one. And worst case scenario is he wants to take the year off and have his own picking out a top job, like a Josh McDaniels. Hey, he's going to go back to Andy Reid for a year, be his OC, because Eric Bieniemy is going to be head coach this offseason. But my whole point and conclusion to this is the Eagles are in a scary territory if Carson Wentz isn't fixable. I don't care if they get Lincoln. If Lincoln can't fix Carson, it's scary.
But like I said, the only thing I'll say to that last point you said right there is only part I stray off from you is if we got Lincoln, I think he can make something work with Jalen as well because that's his guy.
And let me ask you this thing.
You seen how Jalen looked at Alabama, then you seen how he looked at Oklahoma.
That's another thing that's weird. You spend a second round pick on a quarterback that doesn't get along with your starter. You can't have two quarterbacks that don't get along with each other. So what you're going to trade Jalen? Or at max, you're just going to get that same pick again. I think, you might get a third, but there's not enough game film on him, right? Some teams might look at him, hey, he's going to be my legit backup. Some teams might, hey, I don't know, right? So the Jalen Hurts decision, that's on Howie. To me, that's weird. That's a Howie decision where that was almost fireable. You got and maybe, let's be honest, maybe that's why Carson's playing terrible, right?
Yeah, man. Like you said a minute ago, we're definitely just in scary territory at the end of the day because it's one position if you're an NFL team, it's one position you never want to be in if you're an NFL team. You never want to be in a position where you don't have a quarterback and a coach at the same time. I guess I'm kind of say we got a quarterback, but our quarterback situation is up in the air and we don't have a coach. Terrible. We don't have a DC. Our DC retired, so. And then the other thing that just has you pissed off if you're an Eagles fan, Lurie, why'd you wait so damn late in the process? We're getting last interviews with these coaches. You feel me? We're gonna have to probably have the low end out of all the coaches. Like 2 names I'm hearing right now, that's a for sure no for me. One we talked about it earlier is the Chiefs quarterback coach Mike Kafka. Hell no, I'm cool off that. I love Andy Reid, his coaching tree and everything, but maybe it's time for us to veer off from that. I'm cool off him. Mike Kafka, and the other one, hell to the no, is Josh McDaniels. I'm good. I know he got a solid resume as offensive coordinator for the Patriots, but that's under Tom Brady. When he left, and it was terrible when he left before, when he was a head coach in Denver, it was an awful ending. People still talk about his ass to this day and how awful he was.
Yeah, you guys need someone to unite the locker room.
Yeah, man. We like I said, man, we're just in a shit show, and unless we hit with a Lincoln Riley or something like that, once we hit with a coach that can clean up this quarterback room, I don't see us hitting the ground running. And I think it's a 3 to 5 year turnaround, man.
Now I'll say this: I think, and this is a positive note. The Eagles in the NFC East, no team in there has a quarterback right now outside of Dak Prescott, who's coming off an extreme major injury. Mm-hmm. And and we know he's a B+, A- on his best day, right? Those are his best days. So if you are a head coach that comes in there, you're like, hey, I just gotta get this team winning 9 games. I'm winning this division. So you guys are in a position.
And there's really no elite coaching either.
Yeah, no elite coaching. Right?
Outside of Ron, I like Ron, Riverboat Ron. That's the only one I like out of
let's take an example, right? Yeah. If you're a head coach and you take the Chargers job, every year I'm going against the best quarterback and best offensive mind in the game. So you can win a 12. Like, think about it. If you won 13 games in the AFC West this year, you would still be the second seed. You'd be a wild card 13 games. Yeah, that's how tough it is. So that's just a positive year, Eagles fan. That if you can win 9 games and find a way to turn this team around fast, which Howie has shown to do, so it's in his bag. He might need to get serious again. That's a positive. They can turn around that fast. Now, the downside is to this. I think the Redskins the Washington football team, as an organization, are probably going to try and start taking steps forward under Ron.
Good young defense.
The defense was 6 in the league.
and all young still in the front.
Yes.
That's D line, and I like the quarterback. I like the little hinky.
They got a young star receiver.
Yeah,
right?
Scary Terry.
Yeah, so for them, they got to run it. They're like, hey, get us a quarterback and another lineman.
Gibson, that running back. And like I said, I like the quarterback. Hinky didn't look bad in the playoff game. He didn't look bad. That was the second career start. He didn't look bad at all.
To me,
I make all the throws.
I think I called you and said he remind me. I think he's gonna be the new Fitzpatrick. Played 17 years. He looks like a starter some days. Looks like oh shit some days. But he gonna play a long time in this league.
Right.
Fearless. But yeah, that's all I got on Doug. And to me, it's another positive. Sometimes two people just can't be together. It just got to end. It got to end. And I think Doug's probably happy to be out. Like it's a refresher. Like it's probably really hard. First of all, it's hard to coach in the NFL. Secondly, it's harder even just to call plays. Third, you have to deal with the pressure from being an Eagles coach, your owner, Howie, and your quarterback doesn't like you. I got to go somewhere else. It's too much for me. So let's move on to the new hires. And we got the Raiders.
Oh, go ahead.
The Raiders signed. Or you want to do the other firings?
No, we can stay there. I was just gonna start with my conference. I was gonna say the new hire I like, and I feel like every Eagles fan should like is the hire of Dan Quinn, the DC.
Oh, let's do that.
The DC in Dallas, man. What's up with this league in cover 3, man? I don't get it. Dan Quinn. I think after week 6 this year. For week 6 recap, I came on the pod and I remember asking Zay, I don't know who defense looks the worst this year out of Atlanta, Dallas, or Oakland. And Atlanta was terrible all year. Dan Quinn was their head coach, supposed to be a defensive mind. That's his unit, his side of the ball that he's hands-ons with, and they've been decreasingly bad every single year since his Super Bowl appearance.
Yeah, Dan, that was a Jerry Jones hire now. Hire your friends, Mike McCarthy. I mean, if you think Dan Quinn is like a Mark McCarthy type of coach on the defensive side.
I just don't know if they even got better or worse between him and Mike Nolan. I was rolling laughing when I thought it was a joke. I thought it was fast, and I thought it was a joke. I thought it was a joke. I seen the Eagles fan posting, and I was like, this can't be real.
And I thought he's a defensive coach, and Atlanta's defense has never been good under him, right? So, that's the Cowboys. I think Jerry Jones, I'm starting to compare him to Al Davis in his last days, just completely lost his shit completely. When Al Davis was hiring, Art Shell, just old-ass coaches. It's the same thing to me.
And neither one of those guys groomed their sons to take over and do well either.
I would say
Steven Jones is cool. He's better than Mark Davis for sure.
No, exactly. So that's that was a head scratcher, but also laugh because it's kind of like, I expect that. You got Mike McCarthy as your coach. Mike Nolan was a DC. That was a head scratcher last year. He hadn't been DC in 4 years. So,
how you feel about the Raiders? Gus Bradley, eh?
I thought that was the best DC candidate on the market. I wanted Raheem Morris, but the question mark Raheem Morris, he's never actually called defense for a full year, right? He's a leader of men, I think. And also everywhere Gus has been, he's made a top flight defense. Sorry, don't have the Rona. I got a little head cold, or I got tested. But I think I was happy with it. And then the staff he's bringing has developed players like looked up assistants. Some of the assistants started with the Broncos with their Super Bowl defense. His other assistant has been helping develop the linebackers with the Chargers. So I'm happy overall. My only question mark, Gus says he does more than a cover 3. He said cover 3 isn't his base anymore. And he has held the Chiefs to 20 points or less 4 different times as a Chargers DC. So I'm interested to see how he spent his defense. But if I gave it a grade, I give it a B+. To me, unless you took another DC from another team, this was the best DC on the market. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, it was a head scratcher for me at first because all I could remember was his days at Jacksonville. I totally forgot he was manning that defense for LOB over there in Seattle in the early stages when they first started getting on the map. So he definitely has a resume for the first year with the Chargers. He was top 5, top 6, I think. Only allowing in points per game, only allowing 17 points per game. So we both know this was a needed position for the Raiders for these guys to hit on. I think this was a solid overall pick. Definitely an upgrade from Paul Gunther. So yeah, overall, I think you guys should be fine. It was a solid pickup, and you guys upgraded from Paul Gunther. So that's the most important part at the end of the day.
No, I agree. And one thing I think is big is I look at points per game, and Gus is always usually in the top 15 points per game. And let's just be this clear. We don't need Gus to come here and make the Raiders a top 10 defense. They just need to be 20 plus. 20 plus. They for the last 18 years, they've hanged around 25 or worse, right? They just need to be 20 plus. Ideally, you want them 15, 20 range. And again, this is points per game. That's how I judge defenses. The only defense they've had well in the last 18 years, in 2016, they led the league in turnovers. Why? We know that, man, Khalil Mack.
Yeah, I'm actually excited to see how he does with your defensive back group as well. Just because, like I said earlier, he manned that group over there, led that group over there with LOB, Richard Sherman, Cam Chancellor, Earl Thomas, and then he goes over to San Diego and he's doing his thing over there with Darren James, Casey Hayward, and the crew. So I'm definitely excited to see what he can do with Mullins, see if he can help Mullins' game take that next step, and see if he can get Abrams back on track, man.
Oh yeah, no, I think that would be big. And he talked today about first you see what players you have, then you design the scheme around the players to help them succeed, and just seeing what he's done. Like you see with the Chargers, I mean, outside of this year, they always had under him. They've always had respectable defense, and he was in the draft room in charge of getting some of the players they have, such as Derwin James, the Joey Bosa's, the Ingram. So Casey Hayward's first year with Gus Bradley, he had 10 picks, and so they've always developed with the Chargers. So I think that's the biggest part with Gus. You're going to get development, and you're going to get a leader of men. I said the weakness to me is probably the diversity in his schemes. But to me, if as you know, you play defense. If you know what you're doing, you can play fast. You're in the right spot. It's not every team's doing 15-yard
And
drives.
my other thing with defense, man, I'm a big believer. Like I know I said it earlier. Like what's this league's fascination over cover three? But when you think about it, cover three is one of the most balanced defenses. You always gonna have three deep, and you're gonna have some under. You got what, five underneath. So it's a balanced defense. And then secondly, he's like you said, he's always had a elite secondary. I think he'll just be able to help you guys take that next step, man. I think he can help you guys definitely take that next step.
And to me, the most impressive thing, uh, he's been calling defenses since 2009. In that 11 years, there's only been 3 times his team hasn't had 20 plus picks in the season. So, I mean, again,
you said earlier, Jalen raved about him, right?
Yep. So you seen to me that's big too. Players really know what coaches can coach, and so you seen Allen Robinson tweeting today about Gus. You seen Jalen, different players across the league tweeted happy for Gus, and to me that's huge, and that shows you what type of coach you are. And again, you just have to be better than Paul Gunther. That's all we're asking, right? The Raiders had a top 10 offense. We're expecting it to be top 10 again. Just help the defense get better. I think that can be 2 to 3 extra wins just by. I mean, think about it. We lost 4 games this year on the last drive. 4 more games, you're at 11 wins. You're in the playoffs. So I think I'm happy with the Gus Bradley hire. I'm also happy with the assistance he's bringing. A longtime linebacker coach that was with the Denver Broncos, helped develop that talent under the Super Bowl teams, and then they're bringing the DB coach who's been in the league for about 15 years, coaching DBs with the Chargers. He's been with the Chargers with 8, so he's been with all those DBs. So he was in charge of drafting Eric Weddle. There was a little article about that. So I think the assistance to me is a big part because Paul Gunther's, assistance was god awful. Real quick though, we got some openings. Seahawks fired the OC today. I wasn't shocked by that because anytime you miss the playoffs, your organization is in win now mode, and not miss the playoffs. Sorry, lose at home, embarrassing loss at home, and Russ just fell off a cliff. I mean, most turnovers in his career. There has to be changes made. First, I'm gonna ask you, Lane. One, would you have fired their OC, and two, who should they go after for their new OC?
All right, to answer the first question, hell no. I didn't see a problem. I mean, of course, playoff football teams are going to tighten down. Did you see a problem with their offense all year? I didn't. I thought the offense was fine. Besides, yes, they leaned on Russ too much, and they got away from their identity as far as I seen they said Pete released them because they have philosophical differences. I think Pete's more of the old school mindset, run the ball, play defense, and that's what they were known for most of Russ's career is to run the ball and play defense. Maybe that's probably why Pete got rid of him. But we seen he also had a career year throwing the ball. I didn't see it. I didn't see a problem with the offense. If anything, excuse me. Why the hell? We know why because Pete runs the defense. But why the hell you didn't get rid of the defensive coordinator? Get a fresh new mind in there. You know. So what's the name of the guy that's their DC? It's the black dude. And
Ken Norton.
Come on, man. He gotta go.
He
gotta go. I love Ken, but he gotta go. Old Raider legend, right? He gotta go.
Yeah, he was the Seahawks first. He needs to go back to linebacker coach. Give him assistant, man.
Yeah, he gotta be an assistant or something. He's probably better at developing in his individual groups. But the last couple years, the Seattle defense lost their mystique that they usually have. But like I said, I was definitely surprised by the firing because I didn't believe it was a problem on the offensive side of the ball this year. Believe I should have went on the other side of the ball and got a fresh new mind on defense to help Pete. But secondly, for as far as the new OC, man. Not sure. I like to see. I know they said the quarterback coach in Kansas City, he's on the rise. Maybe him, Mike Kafka. They need to get somebody fresh with a new young innovative mindset to help collab with Russell Wilson.
My initial reaction was like, "What the hell? That was crazy." But then I thought about it, just big picture. I was like, all right, if you're the Seahawks, all right, we got about four more elite years with Russ. He's 32, right? Schottenheimer, I know there's issues with him and DK. So to me, if you got, hey,
I don't understand that either. You had a career year. What the fuck do you have a problem with OC for? Y'all, you got.
I guess it was I guess it was just how, like against certain defenses, DK would get taken away, and they're like, you're not giving him screen, just easier catches, right? Stop sending him every fake.
Probably. I'm just saying, as far as the game, this past game against the Rams, I don't feel like that. At least to me, I just feel like Jalen was strapping your ass.
You're going to top corners, and I feel, and again, so I was thinking from Pete's standpoint, from organization standpoint, they're like, hey, we need to be more efficient on offense. It's just not it. And I think when you're in win now mode, like you have a Super Bowl window, you have to do changes like this. Pete. As long as Pete's there, he's the culture. They ain't never missed the playoffs.
They got the two things. I said earlier that the Eagles are missing. They got the quarterback and they got the coach.
And they just gave their GM an extension, who's drafted obviously really well.
Snyder. So
he's the one that got drafted, DK, all them. So I think that obviously Seahawks should be fine. And I think they'll get the pickings of some nice hotshot OC or a former head coach, offensive coach, that would be a good OC. So
just to piggyback on your point earlier when you was talking about Gus Bradley's out, I had lost my train of thought when you was talking about the only thing you had a knock on him was about his diversity on his defense. Yeah. Especially for a cover 3 guy, it's hard to lead the league in passing or to be top in passing yards per game like he has been in the past. And I was just gonna say, at the end of the day, it's only so many coverages you can run. Like, we know offensive playbooks is this long, defensive playbooks are not that long because at the end of the day, it's only so many coverages you can run. And at the end of the day, you have techniques. You got a list long of techniques. Okay, now you just got to figure out which one is best for each scenario, offensive set, and so on. So that's all I was gonna say. It's only a handful of defenses you can run, and from there, it's really about execution and which technique is being called and used at the appropriate time.
No, I
defend a play.
No, that's a great point by you, and this is how I think of defensive coordinators in today's NFL. And tell me if I'm wrong. I look at them similar to NBA head coaches. In the NBA, you can be the best X and O guy of all time, but you have to have talent. That guy has to be able to make shots, right? You can drop the perfect shot. And I feel like same thing in NFL. You can have the best scheme of all time, but if your guy can't cover someone one-on-one, if your guy doesn't know how to follow the zone. But the best NBA coaches know how to develop talent, right? Some like the Warriors, the Spurs do really well, always developing talent. I think your DC has to do that. 2, they're communicate and leader of men. And then 3, the last most important piece is to me diversity of scheme, right? So yes, there's only so many we can run, but we're going to make it so hard that offense has to be perfect. I think that's kind of what the Rams are doing this year. They're mixing different coverages, and they're like, your offense is going to have to go 15 yards on this, right? Mm-hmm. And I think that's why cover 3 is so like looked at as a good coverage or scheme to run, because it makes you go the distance. But as we know, in today's NFL, if you're an RPO, you're going to eat that shit up. RPO eats up cover 3 all day, and that's the NFL today. So, and after a couple RPO plays, big shot coming. So that's what the Chiefs do. So that's just me on that. But I think the DC in today's game, you have to have talent on defense to be elite DC. Like Todd Bowles is great this year, but look at his team, right? He has 2 Pro Bowl linebackers. He has, I mean, soon they're loaded, right? We're not going to mention a top defense and not say a Pro Bowler on the D line. It's just not going to happen. We can mention top offense. The Raiders had a top 10 offense. They had 1 Pro Bowler on it.
Shit, Titans rushed for 2K this year. Not a single lineman made the Pro Bowl.
Exactly on offense, and this is a cool part about I think football. It's the only sport where the coach has legit can impact your team and wins. And your offense goes from 20 to 10, more likely you won way more games. I'll say this: the only coach I think that can scheme up some defense is Bill. Is the only coach left.
And it's crazy because at least on the back end, I've heard over the years on the front end. I don't want to say this wrong because I don't believe Bill's D line is gap scheme. I think they play right down the middle of their man.
When does Shaman Durham play? That's what he's a DC caller plays for Shaman Durham.
Yeah, right? for the Bills. Yeah. But I was saying as far as Bill Belichick, his front end, his D line is real vanilla. As far as he likes the guy to play right down the middle of their guy and like this is you. You're controlling this gap. I don't think he plays gap scheme. Yeah, he don't want them to overthink. He want you feel me? But on the back end, Bill makes some shit up. Bill those coverages in there, some different combos, some different brackets. I think I ain't never seen before. Bill definitely makes it up.
Bill and Saban get their same schemes.
Yeah. No,
that's one thing where I know Saban for sure could coach defense on the NFL level because his schemes is crazy in college by itself. Yeah. I mean, we had Chris on. You know,
they got some crazy checks. Man. Yeah. They got a bunch of checks, and like I said, that's what it is at the end of the day for really all level of football, but especially when you got out of high school and when you get into college and NFL, man, it's all shit. I could probably count on my hand how many coverages you can run, guys. For the listeners out there, I promise you. It's not when you are sitting down watching NFL football, it's not a long same Madden. It's not a long list of defensive plays, man. It's really just a lot of different techniques within that defensive call, and the players gotta make the right check. That's all it is at the end of the day, man.
Yeah, no, it's and it's hard, man. The hardest position to play is DB.
Yeah, because you're reacting.
Yeah. Quarterback is the most mentally challenging. But DB, first of all, if you don't run 4.3 at DB, you already you got to have the best technique. It's hard. And you got to see the best DBs usually run 4.3, high 4.4. And the way the receivers coming out, like, I don't want to guard Devontae Smith. And he get put on the tape. You know, that's why I play receiver. So you can do it. But no, it's man, the coaching carousel. This one I think will be one of the funnest off seasons in a while because we have so many QBs open. We got coaching spots open. We got drama. It's and we still in playoff mode. And so let's get to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Recap of last week. D-Lane, as you know, we're talking earlier. He won the bet. We all seen I had to post. I'm a 49er fan. I wasn't too happy. I did also do a little jab at him with the Go Jimmy. Because no 49er fan saying that right now. But like we said, a recap, I took the Colts Bills game as my favorite game of the weekend. D-Lane had Ravens Titans. I want to dive into this game a little bit. I think we, as expected for the rest of the games, the Cleveland Brown Pittsburgh Steelers game. You picked the Browns. Good call on you.
What I've been saying all year about these Steelers, What have I said all year?
I'm gonna say my piece.
Yeah. I say about the Steelers all year?
He said it was frauds, right? And I want to say I was wrong on them. I thought that pass rush could just disrupt everything. It kind of dwindled out towards the end of the year. The offense had no flow. We were talking more about TikTok than the actual team. It's just a mess. And so I want to give D-Lane credit on early, like before, I think it was around week.
Eagles played them. After my Eagles played, that's all I needed to see.
And then I also want to give shout out to Browns. First playoff win since I'm 26 years old. First playoff win since my whole life. So shout out to them. Almost 30 years since they won a playoff game. But my question for you on this game is, shout out to the Browns. The coach is legit. Real team. Where do the Steelers go from this? Because how does Big Ben come back? He looked old as shit.
Yeah,
I wouldn't pay Juju. It's just a lot of all you know is this. You got a D line. That's all you know.
And the scariest part for the Steelers, they haven't hit on the quarterback the last couple of years. They tried to do the Mason Rudolph thing a couple years ago. I'm actually surprised with Mason. I played against him in college. I thought he was a great college quarterback. I thought he'd be a good NFL quarterback. Turns out he's not. But that's the situation they're in. That's the limbo they're in, man. Their quarterback is aging. Doesn't look very well when he throws the ball downfield. Hopefully Ben looks a little better next year with a full off season, OTAs, training camp and whatnot. He was coming off Tommy John or elbow surgery. And so that probably played a part in it. Whenever you're coming off a major injury in the off season, it's more of a rehab off season than it is a training off season. So that might help Ben. But yeah, man. Hey, I called this shit. I've been saying it all year. I've been saying I don't like the Steelers, and I've been saying from day one, depending on the matchup, who they play, they're a first round bounce out. I've been telling guys, man. All I had to do was see them play my Eagles. I think I was week 4, 5, or 6. My Eagles got them. Carson's out there with them practice squad players, and we put up 29 points. And it was really, they scored at the end to make it look larger, but it was really a one possession game to the very end until they scored again. But I knew then they were the most flawed, undefeated 11-0 team I ever seen. So I called this one. I definitely didn't see the Browns jumping out, taxing that ass like they did 28-0 from off the dribble. I didn't see that. But yeah, the Browns, man, they're in a good position moving forward because I like Baker in this situation as far as with the fans leading with the run first, getting after it on defense. I was you know how I picked the Browns? I was definitely scared before the game. I knew about the COVID situation, the coach being out. I didn't know they CB1 and CB2 was gonna be out, and they was missing one of them. They're the best O lineman, I think. The Joel, I don't want to say his last name. I know his first name was like Joel
Bonatino.
Yeah, something like that. Come on, those are 3 guys, not Ben's play. Those are 3. Yeah, you feel me? So of course Ben's gonna throw for 5 on the. That's another reason. A slide you can throw at Ben and look like, man, you playing the backups off the street in the secondary, and you don't start cooking till the second half end of the game. So yeah, man, still the Steelers are in a tough situation too. They got one of the pieces though, like my Eagles. They got their coach, man. They definitely need to start evaluating that new quarterback position this offseason. They got to find somebody.
And
Ben got a year or two if that left. A year or two if that left.
Yeah, I think you have to draft a guy this year or address the QB position some way. Because Ben gets hurt a lot just when he was younger. So you would have to address that. You can't think Ben's going to be healthy a whole season. Mason Rudolph had to play a game this year. And also took away from this.
Ben did play the whole year this year, bro.
No,
I thought about it. He played the last week. Remember, because they sat him out to get ready.
For the playoffs. You're right.
Mason did play. He did play, but he played.
Yeah, no, correct.
Week.
Thank you. But I think Steven. I've been messing his name up all year. Steven Winsky.
Kevin. You talking about the
Kevin
Stefanski?
Kevin Stefanski. I think he it's a runaway Coach of the Year award for him. I mean, to do what he did for the Browns, at the couch. One that showed how the culture shift he brought in. That his team held their own, and again they played the Steelers at their crib. Like, I don't think if you told a Steeler fan that the Browns' first playoff win was gonna come at their crib, they would have laughed. They would have took that bet any day.
You seen how disrespectful Juju?
Yeah.
Zay, did you hear this shit? Juju
Browns is the Browns, yeah.
Bro. So
he got to go.
Yeah, I was listening to that on a podcast. I think it was Skip and Shannon's podcast, and they was saying the quotes that Juju said, and then went on to talk about the game. They completely glossed over damn near what Juju said. I had to rewind that shit. Like, was he that? Like, it just sounded disrespectful. Like, oh, the Browns are gonna. I was just like, oh, that's bulletin board material. Like, they gonna take that and run with. Like, you openly, blatantly being disrespectful.
I know we got some people from SoCal on that listen to the pod, guess, but that's some LA shit. Like, Juju, you can tell he from somewhere, Pasadena. Him, Paul George, James Harden, they all from the same neighborhood.
I was telling somebody the other day, I wonder how Snoop Dogg feeling right now. You know, he's a big Steeler fan.
Oh, yeah.
Juju played in the Snoop League growing up. I wonder if Snoop got on his ass.
You know, he called him, hey, nephew. Nah,
that Corvette shit out.
Hey, no, Juju, if I'm the G, he got to go. If I'm Mike Tyson, he got to go. Because think about it.
Childish, man.
Tom doesn't play about culture. We know Juju gone. He gone. And they're not going to pay him. This thing, Juju, you haven't been playing. Let's keep going.
100-yard games since AB left. I mean, he just had one in the playoffs, but garbage time stats.
Yeah, we not. Yeah, to me, stats are to show how you won a game. You can go for 400 yards.
And you admit you was wrong on Juju too. I tried
Yep.
to tell you and
Yep.
cry. I tried to tell you and cry.
I was
don't
wrong.
see it
because I thought like right now I thought Juju would be kind of like what Allen Robinson is. Right. That's I thought Juju.
If that. Yeah, I mean, or the bare minimum. That's what you thought.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Was. Yeah.
And I know this. He ain't working hard. He on TikTok and Twitch and. How old is the man? He act like he hang out with 18-year-olds all day. It's kind of weird. You gotta check him. You might need to call the services on him, weirdo.
Exactly.
Yeah, and just for that, I know he ain't never gonna be on this pod. But hey, but I don't care. I don't want him on this Corvette, another podcast. So
sit your ass down, man.
Man, so that's all I gotta say on that. Shout out to Kevin Stefanski and the culture change we did for the Browns. That's any coach that does that. Coach of the year.
You said it right there, culture, man. Having his guys ready, and then most importantly, grooming your staff, man.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't understand that's one of the most important jobs.
Can't do everything.
Coach
can't do everything.
Yeah, man. Like, well, people probably don't realize the special teams coach was the head coach for that game, and I think he also was calling the plays. So that just lets you know he groomed them, had them ready for the plays, probably gave them plays, everything. That just. Hats off to Stefanski, man. Run away. Yeah. I think he definitely deserves head coach of the year.
You know he was getting mad at the house. Like, what the fuck you call it? I would have paid to see his reaction watching the game. He probably didn't sit down. Like, it was probably...
No, actually, it was probably cool for him off the jump. Because like I said,
and he's like, just like I drew it up.
My brother had me rolling. He like, Big Ben out there point him Pouncey point at me like Big Ben 6'5". How the hell he gonna throw the ball that high over his head?
We should have got Will's opinion on this.
Will wouldn't answer the phone, man. My boy Will, you're another Steelers fan. I was trying to call Will. He don't want to answer that phone. I've been on this weak ass Steelers all year.
Yeah, man. It's but no, I would say that I just was so impressed with the Browns, and I have nothing against the Browns. Happy for them. Carl Joseph, former Raider. So no, they got a nice squad.
Yeah, they got a nice squad.
And we take a step back and you realize like the Browns could have done this last year with a good coach. Like they don't have a weakness on any level. And I think in Baker, he's showing that like, hey, I can be like Kirk Cousins' league. I can win. If you got me and a team, we're gonna win. So he's mature too. So something that Juju hasn't. But let's dive into next weekend. Next weekend we got me and D-Lane, we got another bet going. So for this one, the loser has to change their Instagram profile picture to whatever the winner wants. So it's going to be something crazy. They got to stay for the whole week to the next playoff game. So starting off, first game, we got Browns at Kansas City. Who you rocking with?
Man, I was telling somebody this shit. I was telling somebody this the other day. I was like, bro, this is literally a tune-up game for Pat and Andy to just whip the rest of the playoffs ass. Like, they're literally going, I like the Browns. You just heard everything. We love the Browns. You know, they got a nice future moving forward. Good coaches implementing a nice culture. Baker looks like he's turning things around. I love the Browns. No problem. This is Pat and Andy. Hey, they about to get their ass whooped. I'll go 31-17. I'll be nice. I'll go 31-17. But like I said, I think this is definitely a tune-up game for them to run off for the rest of the playoffs.
So you got Chiefs. Plus 14?
I'll take Chiefs plus 10. I'll take the Chiefs plus 10 because I think they'll have a slow start to the game. I've never been a fan of the bye week shit. I don't like, at least me, when I play, I don't want to see the week out and then come back. Like, I just want to keep playing. Yeah. But I think that starts slow because of that shit. So, yeah, I'll go with the Chiefs.
And when I'm just pitching this, I'm like, okay, how could the Browns go in there and beat Kansas City? I'm just trying to think of it, right? Running the ball, right? But that means if they're running the ball, that means the Chiefs aren't scoring. But I'm like, okay, the Chiefs, I mean, the Browns, they have pass rush, but they're not locking up. They're not holding the Chiefs. Yeah. And then the Chiefs at their house, Andy just, think about it. Andy just got to see the whole shit, the whole defense and everything last week against, think about it. Pittsburgh started moving the ball. So, you know, Andy's going to steal some stuff from last week. So, I really was like, man, I thought about an upset pick. I really did for a second. Yeah. And I was like, Baker Mayfield going to Kansas City being Pat. Fuck no. And so, I got KC by 14.
I should have seen his face.
Hey, I just heard I had to like check myself. Like, say, why do you even think that?
Hey, that's how I felt last year when everybody was trying to pick Jimmy versus Pat. It was like, bro, at the end of the day, if you take
Even though the game was close, though.
Yeah, it was, but still at the end of the day, I just couldn't go against Pat. Like, at the end of the day, if you picking the Niners, you're basically saying you think Jimmy going to beat Pat.
And
like,
remember, like we always say, coach quarterback, Kevin, you're good. You're great, but you're not Andy yet.
You want to be.
Yeah, that's who you want to be. That's, And then Pat Baker.
Don't ever put them in the same sentence.
I don't have to say a word because Pat didn't have to be no walk on. I'll tell you that. So here we go. Yeah. All right, next game. We got Tampa Bay versus New Orleans. Boy, that might be game of the weekend.
I'm scared, Zach. I'm scared. So we all know my bracket is busted because of Seattle's ass. I switched my pick going into the playoffs. I picked Russ because I thought he'd go Mamba mode and just go dumb in the playoffs. But my preseason pick was the Saints, guys. So I'm going to rock out the Saints. But I'm scared, Zach. I'm scared, man. I'm scared. First of all, let's take Thomas Edward Patrick Brady out of the equation. Let's take him out real quick. It's the fact that you're playing the team the third time in 1 year. That's scary. That's scary. Especially when you beat them twice. So yeah, it's not scary and hard when you know you're just better than the team. So I get that, and that's why I think this situation is. That's why I'm gonna ultimately pick the Saints. But like I said, man, now let's throw Tom Brady in the equation. You don't beat Tom Brady 3 times in one season. That's the other part of this shit I'm scared about. All right. So then you also got to factor in last time they played 38-3, swept them. Saints slapped Brady and them off the field. But you got to remember, they was just coming off a bye week. They were just trying to implement Antonio Brown. Didn't have his legs under him. The last couple weeks, AB been looking like AB. So that's another thing to factor in. Okay, so I'm scared, man. This is going to be a ball game. I'm going to go Saints 3 or less.
3 or less. This was a hard one for me. But like you said, I don't think the Saints could beat them 3 times in a row. The Bears defense gave the Saints offense a little trouble, and the Bears offense was horrendous. Now,
Tampa didn't give Heineke no problems.
Again, that's where I could be wrong, right? And so I was thinking about that. I say all to say, Sean Payton to me is a better coach than Bruce Arians. He's at the crib. His team ready to play. And Drew Brees said he's retiring. I think he got that Ray Lewis magic. They're rolling out. I'm rolling with the Saints. And they win a close one by 3.
I'm about to look. And the other plus for the Saints, I want to say Drew did, but I don't believe Mike Thomas played. That maybe not even the first one, but I'm talking about the second time they played. He for sure didn't play that second time. I'm looking, but I don't think he played that second time.
You got the Saints by winning by how much?
Like I said, I got the Saints 3 or less.
I got them by 3 or less. We gotta have a tiebreaker.
Oh, you do? Okay, let's see.
Okay, all right. For the tiebreaker, we just do we just have to do a score, whoever's closer to that score. So we both got 3 or less. And then we could
Let me see. I'll go 31-28.
Okay, I'm going 24-21. So wait, I'm going 24-21. We both got Saints. And what was your score?
31-28.
31-28.
Let me see. I'm looking right now.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, Mike Thomas didn't play. Oh, Mike did play that game. I think that was
a week 1.
No, I'm talking not the first one. I'm talking about the second time they played when they slapped him. Mike did play that game. That might have been like one of his last games, though. Yeah, Alvin had a regular game that day. Yeah, I got Drew, man. Definitely scared though. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm scared.
I would say I'm more confident only because I said so. I said the Bears could beat them, but then I just watched the game. I'm just seeing Sean Payton, and it made me think about when Ray Lewis said he was gonna retire. I think the Saints will get all they got for Drew, all they got, and then I just think. Also, I just feel like the Saints don't fuck with Tampa. They got a problem. Like I don't think they it's disrespectful. Like y'all just gonna put together this team thing. Y'all cutting it. No, like, and you gotta remember the Saints. Since the Saints and Sean Payton been there, the Bucks have been terrible. So this is kind of like them, kind of like the Steelers versus the Browns.
Big brother, little
But the
brother
Saints,
feeling.
but the Saints ain't got no. They don't play around. They dance after the game in their locker room when they beat your ass. So that's why I just look at it, the Saints are looking at Tampa like, bro, y'all are Tampa, bro. Y'all not coming to our crib. And so, yeah, they're and I'm taking Sean Payton at the crib versus Bruce Arians. I know Tom's the GOAT, but and I think, obviously Tampa has the QB advantage. Tom's better than Drew right now, but I'm rocking with Sean. And so, I mean, obviously you are too. But all right, next game we got Rams at Green Bay. I got Rams. Who you rocking with?
Now this is tough. Hey, for me, being the defensive back coach, I can't wait to watch this game. I'm having my popcorn ready. Cause I was telling somebody this the other day. I'm having my popcorn ready for that Ramsey Devontae Adams matchup. I had to see Seattle Seahawks, but one of the main reasons why I was scared to even pick them versus the Rams for them playing again, they were playing the third time, their division foe, but the fact that they had DK and DK is the type of guy Jalen likes to go against. The smaller guys get Jalen problems like a Ty Hill, shit like that. So I knew a guy like DK would damn near be eliminated or erased in that game. But DK is the polar opposite of Devontae Adams as a receiver as far as DK doesn't move around like Devontae. He mainly plays outside. He'll come in a little bit, but not just come in. Devontae will motion. Devontae will shift. They really move his ass all over the field. So I can't wait to see this game, as far as being a defensive backs coach. Secondly, I love the Rams. You remember what I said? I was like that they were the only team all year that was top 5 in offense and defense. I think I came on this show and tried to make a case that I told you I think they one of the only teams that can see Mahomes in them because I feel like they can cover the Chiefs' offense. I'm gonna just go opposite you. I love A-Rod, so I'm gonna go. So we ain't picking something. I'm gonna go A-Rod. I love my guy A-Rod, man. I love A-Rod and the crew, so I'm gonna go A-Rod and them. And I don't need to score points because we got different teams. So I'm gonna go A-Rod. Why you got the Rams?
What they did to the Seahawks, I had it with no real court. Like they wasn't playing with a quarterback really. It was just like, man, Sean McVay. I was just looking at him like, man, this man ain't never missed the playoffs. He's fire away Phillips for the Staley guy who's the best fucking DC in the league. It seemed like this, like he has a new age defense. What he running? I just think, man, I want to play for Sean, man. That's
brother too, right?
Huh?
Yeah, brother too. The defense coordinator for the Rams.
Staley, I think so. Yeah,
yeah, brother. Yeah,
yeah.
brother
So
running
I'm rocking with Sean. And to me, when you shut down Russ, DK like that, and I mean Aaron Rodgers, a better quarterback than Russ, but I think they're still
scared though. I know I just picked the Packers, y'all, but I want y'all to know I'm scared.
I just don't.
The Packers can't stop a nosebleed on.
That's why I said I don't see how Green Bay stops the Rams. One and two, I don't see how the Packers score consistent with this game because they don't. Their offense still flow. It doesn't have a real flow on top.
Still feel like at the end of the day, Devontae or bust.
Yeah,
A-Rod to Devontae.
Yeah, to me the Packers are basically what the Texans offense have always been with D-Watt and Hop. It just erases shit.
I feel like
when you have is Jalen Ramsey, this is going to be the hardest matchup for Devontae all year.
I feel like the Packers want to win this game. They got to get Aaron Jones involved, and not just on the ground. He got to get going on the ground, but you got to involve him in the pass game.
Yeah. Now I will say this: Rams are a little beat up. Like Aaron Donald got hurt, but they're all expected to play, so it's no biggie.
And this is why Green Bay brought you guys here. You hear me, Preston and what's in that? The Smith brothers. This is why they brought you guys here. You better go get after a wounded dog over there in Jared Goff, man. You better come hound it. You better Kev. I damn near need to call my boy Kev. Kev, make sure them boys. I know you and Jair gonna be doing y'all thing. Y'all gonna strap on the back end, but you better make sure them boys up front is coming and stopping the run. Kenny Clark and them boys.
If Kev and Alexander have 7+ tackles, they lost. I'm telling you right now. That means they run. Yeah, that means they running the ball. Yeah. DB shouldn't be leading the team in tackles. Exactly. All right, here we go again. I think this, to me, all these games, I think the Saints games will be really good. But it's my game of the week.
Baltimore, game is my game of the week.
Baltimore, Buffalo. I just love watching young QBs play. I don't like the old heads. You know, I watched them a million
I
times.
do. I like them. I like watching them when they get in that rhythm because then it's just like, that's poetry. Much like Drew just get the dart and shit all over the field and Brady. It's nice. But I like the young because it's a more electrifying.
Yeah,
watching the younger guys.
It's like what's funny is like the Rams Packer game. It's like the middle aged QB game, and then we got the young buck game here. So we got Ravens Buffalo. It's at the Bills' crib, and I'm rocking with Buffalo, man. I love what Josh did last week, but he's not going to run for a victory against the Bills because I think the Bills are a way better offense than the Titans. The Titans are, hey, Derek, let's take us to victory. If not, we can only throw jump balls to AJ. That's all we can do. Buffalo, they do whatever they want. They got a top 5 receiver. I think they're going to dominate. And on top of it, they have one of the best offensive minds in the game. No, Arthur Smith is good too, right? But I think they ball a whole different level. So I got Bills in a close game. Wait, who you rocking with? Ravens? Okay, so I ain't got to tell the score. I got Bills in a close game. Close, electrifying game.
Okay. And this is tough for me because you know how I feel about the Bills. I like the Bills the last 2 years. They've been one of my dark horse teams the last 2 years.
And I'm selfish. I want to see Bills Chiefs.
And I was just going to say, in the ideal AFC championship for me is Josh Allen versus Pat Mahomes. I want to see those two sling it out. But Marmore, I don't know, Zay. Marmore, man, he just got that. He got that feel to him right now where I feel like if anybody beat the Chiefs this year, it might be them. Just how I'm feeling right now, because that offensive ground game is rolling. They rolling. Marmore and company are rolling right now. They got a stout defense. We seen that last week. Showed you can't run the ball on them, and then come on, man. You got Mackhouse Peters on the back end, and then you got Humphrey that's another matchup I can't wait to see. Humphrey versus Diggs, man. So I'm gonna go. I love this game. I'm gonna go with Marmore, man. I'm gonna go with Marmore.
Yeah,
I think they got the better defense. I'm gonna go with Marmore because they got the better defense, and I feel like they got the run game to keep Josh Allen on the sideline.
Yeah, no, I think it'll be a good game. I can see if Baltimore wins. I think because their defense create a lot of turnovers, and Lamar's just doing what Lamar does, nothing out of his realm. But I think for the Ravens to win, their defense is going to have to create a lot of turnovers, just because I think the Bills' offense, to me, the Bills and Chiefs' offense are the most scary offense in the league, just because of their quarterbacks and the weapons they have. So it's gonna be a good game.
I think he threw one last week. And he's prone to give you a few shots because he's a gunslinger. Allen, Baltimore will have action. They will have action in at least 2-3 balls.
But this ain't Ryan Tannehill. This is a different animal. I think he might look and be built like Ryan, but that arm different.
I got you. Yeah. I got you.
So and again, I like their OC better too. I just think it's going to be an exciting matchup.
That was another guy they said that the Eagles were interested in. I'm not big on that pick either. Arthur Blank. I think that was
Arthur Smith.
Smith, the guy from cool, but that's not going to win no championship. Not in today's game. The way he's all run ball centric over there, that's not going to win.
Only if they think he's like a Kevin Stefanski. If they think he's that. But my thing with Arthur Smith, I'm not going to lie. For me, he's a guy I think that should be only an OC, and I say that to be that's Mike. Mike's the vocal leader. He's the culture setter over there. And Arthur Smith is one thing about him. Fun fact, he's the son of the owner of FedEx, the CEO of FedEx. Yes,
I worked for FedEx before.
Oh, that's crazy. So Arthur, he don't have to work. He's a billionaire's son. So I don't know. I just don't want no rich kid coaching my thing.
Yeah, my other thing with Arthur is it's just no I don't know the word I'm looking for. It's no flavor to his offense. As far as like. It's line up and we finna run right at you with Derrick Henry. It's not like a Kyle Shanahan or Kevin Stefanski running game where it's a little more imagination put in. Excuse me. It's a little more imagination put into it. It's real vanilla. And that was another reason why I wasn't.
Because we saw the offense came out on fire and it just plateaued against the Ravens. So like you couldn't adjust. And for me, if I'm a owner GM, I took note of that. Like, whoa, you couldn't.
I gotta look at the numbers, but I thought the offense for the Titans looked a little better last year. I know Tannehill's numbers look better this year, but as far as imagination in the offense, I remember seeing pop passes. I remember seeing hitting the tight ends in the red zone. Looked like more this year was trying to get A.J. Brown, Corey Davis on the outside.
Yeah.
I didn't see no pop passes. I didn't see a lot of motion, shit like that. I'm big on motion. I'm big on pre-snap movement on the offensive side of the ball because I know how it fucks you up on the defensive side of the ball if your communication ain't right.
Yeah. I say this: if I was like the Cardinals, I'd fire Cliff right now for Arthur. He'd be better than what they got.
Not for that team, though. Not for that team.
Yeah, and it's crazy. I was gonna talk about the earlier. Cliff should have been let go. I thought any coach should have just been, but they'll give him one more.
Doug, I think would be nice over there.
Ooh, and if I'm Doug, I'm calling the Cardinals. Like, y'all really want to keep Cliff?
Hey, or bump him over to OC. I'm gonna come in. We're gonna get this thing right. Get Kyle over the hump.
Yeah, no, that's a different conversation though. But yeah, that'd be Cardinals something to look at. But yeah, no. As the weeks go on, we're gonna talk more of these coaches filling in spots, who should have been on which team, and man, the Eagles got a big opening, man. And real quick before we go to these picks, me and D-Lane, we got Chiefs over Browns. We both got Saints over Tampa. He got the Packers. I'm rocking with the Rams, and he got the Ravens. I'm rocking with the Bills. Playoff weekend, and yeah, man, I'm excited. Let's keep it going.
Yes, sir. Divisional round. Here it is. Hey, thank you for guys for checking us out, man. Follow us on all social media platforms. If you got any questions for the pod, email us at 510huddle@gmail.com. And like I said, me and Zay can't wait. We can't wait for we're enjoying the playoffs, but we also can't wait for this shit to get over with because we got some amazing guest pods for you guys as soon as the season wraps up. So stay tuned.
Yes, sir.
Still went for it. Time to change the club.